Hello my crafty friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Corrine Crafts. I hope you are well. Now the theory behind today's project is I saw a card that I liked, a card that had actually done very well, that won the maker Svetlana, to check her name then, Svetlana, it won her card maker of the year and a lovely bundle of goodies from Sticks too, some of whose goodies I have used again. But I wanted to see if I could remake that card differently, but only using what I already had without going out and buying anything else. So here is my version of Svetlana's CupCake card. It's a 10-fold card, but using my products. Now hers was very different colours. It was sort of red and white ginghamy effect, sort of candy cane look, very different. Really OTT, but I love it. I love the blues, and most of the stuff is just reused stuff from other projects or stuff that I already had lying around, and I even made the mats and layers by adapting what I already had. So I hope you like it. I'm going to show you how it's made, and then I hope you take some of that ethos and have a look at what you've got in your craft stash and make some of the projects your own. Let's have a look. As I've always said every time I do videos, I like to think that you can have a look in your crafty stash and find things that you could use when you see images or tutorials, videos of projects that inspire you. Now on the Sticks to Instagram page, I saw a project made by a lady, her name Svetlana, I think her name was, and she ended up getting card maker of the year 2024 using a CupCake die. Now I didn't see what CupCake die she used, but looking at the pattern on the way the paper was cut, I don't think it was this one. Now this one is the Gemini Cute CupCake. It is originally for fold back gatefold cards, and as you can see it's a brown die or bronze die, so it's a deep dish die, multimedia die, however you want to call them. So you can cut through mount board with this, you can cut through multi layers of card with this if that's what you want to do. So as I always say, have a look at what you've got and adapt it to fit what you've got. So that is what I decided to do. So I took a 6x6 card blank. Where's my top? I'll just make sure I've got the right way around. And I was going to cut, you could do this with a piece of A4 card folded in half. I was going to cut into that like that to make a gatefold card with this bit over the top. So that would be the fold there, and that would give it its hinge. I thought, because it's a deep dish die, at the same time I can cut that one. So I can see there's my, I'm going to just move it across a little bit. I can see that's where the top of my card is. So I'm just going to put it like that, tape it down. I would take the tape there and I'd hold it there so it holds everything in one place. And as you can see, it's going to cut, if I put it that way, you can see it's going to cut through over the top of the card and into this. So this is going to give me my full panel, and then this is going to give me my 10-fold card, just like this. So there's my 10-fold card, just like that, because I had it cut just like that. So you can see you cut it over the top of your hinge, and then I've cut a second one that's nice and solid. So that's just in regular craft card. So we're going to put those two together just like that, and that will make my card base. So yeah, you know, I always say have a look at any tutorial that I do, have a look at what you've got in your craft stash and make sure you do it. Now tip, if you're gluing on a panel like I'm about to do onto here, and there's going to be an element sticking over the top, then always apply your glue to the base, because if you apply your glue to the base, you know it's in the right place. If I applied it here and I went a bit too far over that point, then I would end up with glue sticking out. So because these have been cut with the same die and they were actually cut at the same time, they fit absolutely perfectly back together. I've done that with my tacky glue. You could do that with your Sticks 2 glue, your tonic glue, whatever glue you want. You could even do it with a dry glue, a dry adhesive, if that's what you'd rather do. So I've just burnished those together, and if you think can see that's not come quite, the glue's not come right to the edge, so I'm just going to put a little squeeze in there. So I'll just have to squeeze that out. Ooh, that was silly. I washed my cloth on at the weekend and I've forgotten to bring it back in. Never mind. Okay, so there we have that on to there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate this, and like I say, I'm going to decorate it my way. So I was inspired by the one I saw on the sticks too, and it was all about a really voluptuous card with lots of detail, and that's what I thought I would do. So this one comes, I'll show you the pieces that you get. You get the outside, you get the cupcake case, you get a little cherry, a candle and a bow. Now I'm not going to use those for this, but I am going to use the cupcake base. So out of the cupcake base, I've cut it out of some gorgeous pattern paper. Isn't that lovely? Now, just so that you know, all of my paper is a really old pad. All my paper has come out of the pick and mix from Crafter's Companion. You look for what paper you've got. I'm sure you're going to have lots of papers that are going to work. Now, if I put that onto here, that's going to look a little bit not quite right. So I needed another layer on here, but I didn't want a complete layer because I wanted to still see some white. So I'll show you how I did this. I took my pattern paper and I turned it upside down, so I've got the white on the back. I put my die on wrong side up, so you can see my blade is facing up, and then I got a pencil. Now there is the cutting line, it's there, but I've also got this one maybe 2 mil gap inside, so you then draw around the inside. Doesn't matter if it goes a little bit in, you can see it's coming in even a little bit more. That is good, and that's going to give me my matte layer. Hold that tight. I've missed a bit down the bottom, but I'll do that in a minute. I'm just holding it. I don't want it to move. You could tape it down if you wanted to. I'm just trying to do it nice and quickly. And then I'm going to do that and like that. Now, when I cut, let me get my scissors, nice big scissors. I'm going to cut. So remember, this is on the back of my pattern paper. I'm going to cut. I'm not going to cut on the line. I'm going to cut. I'm going to show you. Just, can you see? I've cut it just on the inside. So if I was coming up here, I would cut it just on the inside. So I'm still following that line, but I'm cutting it to the inside. Even when I go around the curves, I'm just going on the inside. And this is going to give me my perfect matte layer. So I'm just following it around there. And when I've cut it out, you see, this is what I've done. I've put it onto my paper. I've cut it out. When I turn it over, I've got that. Now you must remember, because this isn't a symmetrical die, because you need to turn, if you turned your paper over, you need to turn your die over too, otherwise you'll end up with it back to front. And that now will fit on here, can you see, with a white border around the edge, which is what I wanted. I wanted that white layer so that it looked like a matte layer. And then this one will fit onto there. So I've created my cupcake and base. This is so much fun, isn't it? These could be brilliant party invitations. A little bit of wet glue, trying to get right up to the edges, all the way. I just love how vibrant I've gone with the colours. Sometimes, you could change this. You could do it pastel pinks, delicate blues, lovely greens. You could go neutrals with craft. Oh, you could do anything you wanted. But I've just gone nice, bright and vibrant. You'll see why. So put that one on there, and then I'm going to come in with my cupcake case. Gosh, there's a lot of words in there. I have to think about what I'm saying, don't I? But the thing to do is to look at what you've got in your craft stash. I've not just gone out and bought any more papers. I've not gone out and bought any more dies. I've used what I've got. So what I'm doing here with a cupcake, if you haven't got it, maybe you've got, I don't know, a balloon. Maybe you've got a star. You can do this effect with whatever shape dies you've got. So I've now got a lovely standing 10-fold card. And I think it's quite important that we've gone 10-fold. Okay, now that's very vibrant, so I don't want to stamp onto that. So I thought it was a good idea to cut a die cut onto there. So I found these. Now these are mats and layers sentiments. Again, going through my crafty stash to get what I want. These are quite old from Crafter's Companion. So what I've got here now is I'm not going to use all of these bits. I'm just going to use the sentiment, because you can pull bits out, and that sentiment, I've cut it in white. So that really stands out, doesn't it? Now, if I was organised, I could probably put this through something like my Xyron or something. I could have put sticky tape on the back before I cut it. I could put it onto my sticky dots. There's so many different things to do, but I'm just going to pop this on here, just like this. So glue press, and I know quite a few of you have bought this on my recommendation. It really is, it does make gluing so easy. It's just a dream, absolute dream. So I can see a little blob of glue there. Let's get rid of that there, and I'm going to pop that on there, and I just love that contrast. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So you can put that. Now, if you want to, you can put a weight on there, let that press down, and let that sort of set for a little while. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create our decoration. Now, I did go in and have a look at all of my flowers that I've got, because you know I collect quite a lot of flowers pre-made, and I was fairly tempted, but I thought, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to make one. Now, do you remember this card that came out on Thursday of this last week? I loved making this. Now, you remember I cut out 3 of each of the colour of the leaves. So I went back into my scrap box and I had a look, and I found blue one left over, a red one left over. I love this when this happens, and the bright blue. Now, look at that. It's just pulling out those colours. This was not planned in any way whatsoever, but I'd kept all the bits and put them on there. I even went and had a look at the flower, and it sort of worked, but I decided I'm going to do the same flower because I really love doing those, but I'm going to do it in a different paper. So this is a paper from that same pad, because that means then that the colours are still going through. So I've stamped and die cut the flowers out. And I'll show you one more time how I did this, just so that you can see. So I get the flower, and then I get my black stamping pad, which is just up here. I haven't put it away. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to get my ball tool, and I'm just going to shape. Oh, no, before I do that, I'm going to get my little scissors, and I'm just going to cut down here. I do like to do that with these ones. Virtually down to the centre, in the middle. Centres usually are in the middle, aren't they, Corrine? That was an unnecessary word there. So down to the centre point. And the same with this one. And I love how I've picked 2 different bits. It would have been really easy on this sheet of paper to have picked a spot where I'd got 2 petals in red or 2 petals in the green, or what, you know, sets of petals. But I didn't. I picked the different colours. So we're going to go like that, all the way down, shaping them, and then down like this and shaping them again, all the way down, just really working that down all the way. Turn it over. And now, I know this probably isn't for everybody, because not everybody likes vibrant colours, but if you do, but I think what's more important about this project is I saw an idea, and then I used the stash that I'd already got, and that's what it was all about. Okay, so I'm going to get some 3D glue like I did before. Oh, actually, I'll do this one with hot glue just to show the difference. So I've got my hot glue going, put a little bit, which doesn't want to do it because the glue stick's running out. Little bit of hot glue down there, just a tiny little bit. Then I'm going to get the second one. Right, I always like to stagger them as near to 180 degrees as I can. So I'm going to pop that into there, and I'm just going to hold that for 1 second while that hot glue melts and sets. Sorry, it's already melted, isn't it? And that has created the flower. Then, just to show you what I've done, I have taken some stamens and I have put them on there. I'm going to link to the tutorial that I did when I made this gorgeous blue one, when I did my black and white in a single pop of colour, just to show you. So this one just needs the stamens putting in and the centre, and then we are away. So yeah, I've now got another one in my stash. So I'm going to bring back in my card, and I'm going to pop that onto there. Now we've got quite a lot of colour, which is what I was aiming for, but I think I need to be careful. So what I've thought was, again, at my little stashy box, I've got this little one that I've already cut out of a little bit of white, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that just on here to break down that colours, almost to add a layer. And then I'm also going to get some white foliage. So actually that one might come down here like that, and then I'm going to put my white foliage there. So then when I put my flower on, can you see I've got that little bit of white just to add that little bit of a break. So then we're going to grab our coloured leaves, and they're going to go under here. Now that's red down there, so I think I need the blue one down here, and then I can put the red one just there. Can you see it's really vibrant? I think I'm happy that I can do that bit. So let's just put some glue. Again, I'm going to do it with hot glue, and I'm going to go a little bit of hot glue just here. Again, I'm not gluing everything down uber tight, because you know I don't like to do that. I like to have that freedom where everything sort of moves. As long as it's secure, that's okay. So let's then take the flower and put a nice blob of hot glue on the back, and then we can put that on there. And then I can take these. I've often put things like this in afterwards, just so that I can space them better. That one's going to go in there. Then this one, let's just, if you struggle with hot glue and you don't, oh, I was going to put this one down the bottom, wasn't I? If you don't like using hot glue, then it's really easy. You could do this with something like your 3D glue gel. That would work really, really well. So I'm going to push that one in there. That one, just I wanted to make sure it was off the sentiment. Let's go with the other blue one, and I'm going to take that one at the top so that the blues are separated. Now, I'm sure if you find the project on the Sticks To website, Instagram page, you'll see that this is a very, very different card. Yes, it's got CupCake on it, but other than that, it's very different. Right, now I've got a little bow, and I'm going to pop a little bow onto here. Not there, that's not working right. Oh, am I going to put a bow on? Let's wait. And then I just went through my crafty stash and I found a few bits. Now that is actually a brad. That's a bit of wood. That is, I'll show you these. So this, and I thought I'd found a third one. I can only see two. So those were, oh, out of a box full. Look at this. This is a box I got off Dawn Bibby years ago. They're like resin. I love them. I don't use them very often. I've got so much stuff that gets forgotten. Oh, dropped a bit. So I thought we could then just tuck a few bits in, because it's all about that volume and sort of contrast. So let's pop that in there. Might look a bit out of place for a minute. Let's then just make sure my brads are twisted back. I'm going to, have I got some tweezers, some pliers? There they are. Thought I did. I've got most stuff at the side of me somewhere. I'm just going to fold that back on itself. Just now, the good thing is when you do this, what you're actually doing is you're giving something for the glue to key onto, which is really good. So squish that down, and then I can actually, oh, I like that inside there. Didn't think of that, but that's what's going to happen. That is what is going to happen. I'm covering up that though. It's going to go under there now. Change my mind. Otherwise I cover up all of that white. Let's push that under there. Right. Then I want somewhere to put this. Where's this going to go? Is it going to fit? Is everything going to fit? I hope it will. I hope it will. All right, let's put that just under here. Let's put that bit under there, so the heart's just poking out. Then we're just going to grab my tweezers and I'm just going to add these out. Again, you'll see it's so different to the one that I took the inspiration from. So we can pop that flower in there. This is why I like to do 10-fold cards, because it's not going to topple over. Actually, oh, it's falling in there, so it's going to stay in there now. Okay, you're going in there. I wasn't planning on it, but there we are now. And then the final one of these. I did have 3 of these little ones, but now I've only got 2. I'll probably find it as soon as I've finished. And let's pop that one in just there. I don't know if that's glued. I don't think the glue hit there. So let's just put a little blob of glue in there. And we can put that on like that. There we go. So that is all doing really well. I still wanted to use my bow, but I don't think it's needed. It's going to cover up my sentiment. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glue press back, and I've got a few little gluey strings, but we can get rid of those at the end. It's not a problem. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in a couple of little dots of glue, and then we're going to put a few sequins on. Let's just pop a few little bits on here. So I just found a few sequins in colours that I thought, oops, where did that one jump to? Flew off. And a few colours that I thought would work quite well. That's upside down. So we can then just pop that. And I've got a red one. Oh, I don't need red on red, do I? I want red on yellow. So we'll put that one up here. And I've got the light blue one. The light blue one will look nice on the red, won't it? Just like this. There we go. Oh, I've got some more bits down here. Let's get, oh, what colour is that one? Pale blue, the pale blue turquoise. Put that one there, that one there, and then let's get another red one up there. And there we go. That is really OTT decorating a cupcake, and it still stands. I love it. How about like that? Really a bit different, very eclectic, very sort of that shabby chic, but quite clean and happy looking. So there we go. So just remember, whatever you see, go and have a look in your craft stash. That's exactly what I've done. I've taken an idea, I've run with it, and I've made it completely different, made it my own. You might think, oh, hot mess, I've just dumped everything on there. But I love the fact that it's just that, you know, that I don't want a dump of bits that I have got and that mean a lot to me. So there you go. My take on a very different project on the Sticks To website. And if I find a way to put the bow on, you might see the bow on the finished card at the very end. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Something a little bit different, but just to show I do try to follow the ethos that I do. Oh, I've got some circles. I might try and fit those in after I've finished. All right then, so thank you for watching. As always, links down at the bottom. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with another project for you. So until then, take care. Bye for now.